Welcome back to the revision sessions. Now we are going to discuss and revise a Bhakti poem, or rather a bhajan, Meerabai's bhajan, titled I Am True to My Lord. Her life and achievements are very interesting. She was born in the year 1498. Meerabai was a 16th century Hindu mystic poet and devotee of Lord Krishna. She was not just a poet, she was a saint poet. She is called saint poet and mystic poet. ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸಂತ ಕವಿ ಅಂತ ಅವರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. She is a celebrated Bhakti saint, particularly in the North Indian Hindu tradition. Her songs are meant to be sung as bhajans actually, which are in praise of Lord Krishna. She dedicated her life in devotion to Lord Krishna. Yes, this is her childhood. She was born in 1918 in a royal family of Rajputs in Rajasthan. And her royal education included music, religion, politics, and government. In her childhood, a saint probably meets her and gives her the idol of Krishna, with which she falls in love with since then. And rest of her life she dedicates herself to devote her life to Lord Krishna. So she was married in 1516 to Crown Prince of Mewar, Bhojraj. Though she was not interested, she had to marry him. She goes there, but I think after 5 years of their marriage, her husband dies in a battle of probably of battle wounds. And later her brother-in-law, brother of Bhojraj, troubles her because she lived a life that was against a royal family, against a royal family and society. After her husband's death, she spent most of her time in a private temple that's dedicated to Krishna, treating the saints and composing bhajans in praise of the god. So this religious life or mystic life was against the royal court. She broke away the rules of royal family, society, and even gender. That's why her in-laws were irritated by her lifestyle. Therefore they tried to kill her. 2 supposed attempts were made to kill her. Once a poisonous snake kept in a basket was given to her, but when she opened that basket, instead of the snake biting her, there was a garland, or that snake turned into a garland. And some other time she was given a cup of poison, hoping to kill her, but though she drank the poison, she escaped harmless. So this is how her story goes. In both attempts she lived, probably due to her mystic beliefs and powers. She was a kind of rebel to established norms of the society and family. I have told you already, in the sense that she was very religious, that was against the royal family. And when her husband died, she did not perform sati paddhati anta ಪ್ರಚಲಿತದಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು ಆಗ ರಾಜಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ. ಈವನ್ ಜೋಹರ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಇತ್ತು. ಈ ಸತಿ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಡನ ಚಿತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಕೂಡ ತನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಣತ್ಯಾಗವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆದರೆ ಮೀರಾಬಾಯಿ ಆ ಥರ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ. Rather, she also flouted the widowhood norms. She went into the public spaces, sang and danced in praise of the god. That irritated a few people and even the people in royal court. Rather, she devoted herself to Lord Krishna as her divine husband. This is the characteristic of Bhakti movement that we shall discuss later. Hearing about her singing quality, Akbar, Mughal Emperor Akbar, once went along with Tansen in disguise to experience the power of singing, Meerabai's power of singing, and later rejected for her unconventional behavior. She left Mewar, went to Martha, and she left even Martha and then went to Dwarka, where there is a temple dedicated to Lord Krishna, and she spent her last years there, praising and singing Lord Krishna. She breathed her last in the same temple. It is also believed that she merged with the idol of Lord Krishna miraculously. As she was singing and praying for Lord Krishna appeared and she became one with him. Now that's how there is a story about her, which we don't know whether true or not. Yet information varies on how and where she lived her last years and how she died. It is believed that she passed away in 1547. Now, before we discuss the poem, let us consider understanding the characteristics of Bhakti movement or Bhakti poetry that took place at different places of India or states in India from 8th century to 17th century. For example, in 12th century we have Vachana movement or Vachana ಚಳುವಳಿ. ಆ ಥರ ಕಬೀರ್ ದೋಹ ಅಂತ ಉತ್ತರ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ, ಇನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ನಡೀತು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅಪ್ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಪಾತ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ವೇಷನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಭಕ್ತಿ. ಭಕ್ತಿಯ ಮೂಲಕ ಮುಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುವಂಥ ಮಾರ್ಗವನ್ನು ಅನುಸರಿಸಿದವರು. ಅವರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಭಕ್ತಿ ಪೊಯೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And another characteristic of this poetry is that the poets wrote or composed poems in regional languages. Their aim was to unite with God. They expressed intense love or bhakti to the God which they believed in. See, in case of Meerabai, she believed in Lord Krishna. Radha believed in Lord Krishna. Akka Mahadevi, ಚನ್ನಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ ಅವರನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಡಿವೈನ್ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್, ದೈವಿಕವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಯನ್, ಒಂದಾಗೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ ಆರ್ ಚನ್ನಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮೀರಾಬಾಯಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಗೋವಿಂದ. And they surrendered themselves to the divine God. They broke rituals, ceremonies and blind faith. They rejected idol worship. But Meerabai worshipped the idol of Krishna. They were open-minded and against blind beliefs or social customs. They did not care for the gender or caste or anything else. and their aim was to be united with the goddess they believed in. ದೇವರನ್ನೇ ತಮ್ಮ ಪತಿ ಅಂತ ನಂಬ್ಕೊಂಡಂಥವ್ರು. ಅಕ್ಕ ಮಹಾದೇವಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಈವನ್ ಮೀರಾಬಾಯಿ ಕೂಡ ದೇವರೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಪತಿ ಅಂತ ನಂಬಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಾಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟರು. ಎಸ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. I am true to my Lord, written originally in Hindi but translated into English. Here is the English version. I am true to my Lord, O my companions. There is nothing to be ashamed of now, since I have been seen dancing openly. Now, this is how she shows how much she is dedicated to the God. She says, I am true in the sense I am completely dedicated to you, she tells God. And she also says, I am not afraid of this. I don't care people or society, even if they make fun of me. I am not ashamed. No, in praise of Lord Krishna, she sang bhajans and she danced even in public spaces, which was prohibited for women especially to come out of the houses and be seen in the public spaces. But she occupied the public space. Therefore she says, I am not afraid of singing or dancing in the open public. In the day I have no hunger, at night I am restless and cannot sleep. Leaving these troubles behind, I go to the other side. A hidden knowledge has taken hold of me. There are two worlds, this physical world and the other mystic or spiritual world. Meerabai was more attracted to the spiritual world, where she aspired to unite with the God Krishna. Therefore she says, these worldly troubles, ಈ ಭೌತಿಕ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳೇನಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಥವಾ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಹಂಗರ್, ಹಸಿವು ಅಥವಾ ನಿದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರಬಲ್ಸ್ನ ನಾನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಐ ಗೋ ಟು ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ದಿ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್, ಮಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್, and there I want to see my husband, divine husband, Lord Krishna. So this is how she was awakened to the truth of life. My relations surround me like bees, but Meera is the servant of her beloved Giridhar, and she cares nothing that people mock her. Now, many of her relatives came to her, visited her, maybe for their selfish motives or royal benefits, and tried to claim her Meera belongs to them. Maybe they tried to bring her back into this physical world from the spiritual world. But Meera says, I am nobody's servant. I belong to nobody but Lord Krishna. Giridhar here is another name for Krishna. I belong to Lord Krishna and nobody else. This is how she shows her devotion and surrenders to beloved Giridhar. And she says, I don't care if people make fun of me. This is how the poem I am true to my Lord by Meerabai, which is actually a bhajan, is in the praise of Krishna, in which she dedicates herself completely, surrenders to Lord Krishna. Her life is very interesting in the sense she escaped the supposed try to kill her and lived a mystic life, and it is believed that she became one with Lord Krishna. So that's it from this session.